Indeed. And greetings upon you, beloved and holy friends. Thank you so much for joining me here again on another peaceful, joyous, absolutely artistically created moment. This moment that we're in right now. I've been really getting into just paying attention to the beauty around me. Really paying attention to almost the world as art. To the point where I woke up this morning with this real sense, almost like I had a dream, almost like I had this premonition, and to the point where I had an urgency to write it down. That art is a means of humanity creating a new reality within which we can both coexist. Like you make a work of art, and then because that work of art has been made, and because multiple people can look at that same work of art together, now they're sharing a common reality by looking at that art. And the reason I want to say, needed to do that is because we've become completely disconnected with the fact that this reality we're a part of can be seen as the same, can be seen as this work of art that you are a part of, that everything is a part of. And we've understand that nature imitates art and art imitates nature, that whole conundrum as well for so long. But why? Why is that actually so? I believe it's a means of reality creation, where we create for ourselves a new collective reality within which we can live together. Right? And it's so beautiful to me that we do that in so many different ways. Like every single work of art, in one way or another, attempts to do that. A poem, trying to put you in a world of feeling, a world of experience, a world of a moment, right? Like a poem can be very moment based. Thank you for joining us, my friend. It's so nice to have you here. Thank you for being here, a part of this work of art. I consider these streams a work of art. I really do. And it's almost like every single word I say is a brushstroke. And I don't know, usually I don't know what I'm going to be painting when I get into the stream, but then you friends come along with me and you're like, how about this canvas? And I'm like, yeah, this is pretty cool. I see what you mean. And how about this canvas? And I'm like, yeah, give me some more, give me some more. And it's such a process. And I'm curious, like what I'm curious about, if we're creating worlds by creating art, what world is it I'm trying to create for you, friends? Right? Like that's the question that is sitting on my mind. And I do believe that we're trying to create a loving world, a world of compassion, a world of understanding, a world of abundance. But it's almost like we're addressing multiple different fractal fractions of that ultimate world we're creating. Like even though I am in my mind creating a work of art right now, and because of this work of art we're co-creating, we can be in the same space, feeling the same things, thinking about the same things, creating this world which we live in as a collective right now, while at the same time realizing that technically all of them are like that. Like every single one of these streams as a collective is the work of art. And then it creates this sense within me that nobody would ever, not even me technically, like I might be the closest person to it, but not even me, I won't even be able to grasp the fullness, grasp the entire work of art. Hello, Peppy. Hello, Peppy Longstockings. Mush. Like not even I will be able to grasp the full extent of it. Like there is I've forgotten probably a bunch of it already. And how much more is there to come? How many more fractal variations, how many more brushstrokes will we put down onto this grand canvas that we're collectively painting? And what world is that going to create? By living in this world, in these individualized moments, we are technically creating our individualized futures. And depending on the moment you're living in right now, whether it's associated with love or fear, that is going to be the ultimate reality that you create for yourself going into the future. And it gives this sense of reverence, to art. Imagining every single creator of art creating these worlds, creating these experiences to be a part of. And how this is something we've been doing for as long as we've been human. At least what we consider human. It fascinates me. It really does. Oh, man, these streams opened my eyes to so much more beauty in the world and life. Shannon, thank you so much for saying that, my friend. That's the only thing I could ever hope for. Like that is a massive success story in my life. It's like, so what did you do with your life? Well, some of the people who partook of my work literally saw their own lives as more significant, the lives of others as more significant, the life of the ordinary as more significant, and as a result of that, lived a happier and more fulfilled life. Thank you, Shannon. Mission accomplished, Mel. Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm done for now. Thank you so much, Shannon. I love you, my friend. And, like hearing stuff like that just reestablishes again within me the reason I want to do this. It really is a want to do this. And I feel almost too blessed to ask for anything sometimes, right? Like we've created this Patreon, but I'm like creating these layers of justification within inside of myself just to be willing to ask for something because I feel I'm blessed enough to not be worthy of needing for anything. Thank you. Thank you so much, Shannon. Thank you, Kira Burp. Thank you, friends, just for the love you share. Lisa, it's so nice to have you here. Happy Sunday. Happy Gentle Sunday to you. Happy Easter, friends, to all of you who were celebrating Easter. I'm going to smoke a small bowl from my bong. I want to show you this bong again. This bong was made for me by a friend, and she made it for me with this intention of trying to encapsulate as many parts of who she thought I was into a single object. And that created this bong. I'll show you in a bit. She created these as well. This is like a little bowl made out of cannabis wood. So, smoking the cannabis with the cannabis. I'm also using a piece of bamboo, but let me show you what this looks like. So these little rocky bits are rocks from the farm. So that she like glued onto the bottom of it, on the base. And then she had this little pattern, this tree of life that she associates with me, and then the Horus third eye, the atom, the wheel in Buddhism, the snake eating itself, Ouroboros, peace. I believe this is a Buddhist sign, right? Like some sort of meditative symbol. The little, Jesus fish, of course. This one I believe is, cycles of the moon, right? At least that's the way I interpret it. And then, of course, the infinity, the yin yang, within this beautiful tree structure. And then she asked me, like she sent me like a photo of all of these symbols and asked me, is there any one that I want, that she didn't actually add? And I was like imagining she was gonna add, another one like here or something. And then I asked her to add this. What is it, Pippi? What are you seeing? Are you seeing something? Are you seeing something? Where is it? Where is that thing you're seeing? He's so dramatic. There's nothing. Pepe, what's next? What's next, Darnie? What's next also what you bluff me? Anyway, And this symbol is supposed to mean, or at least, oh man, Reddit, dude, drops by stream. This symbol is supposed to represent almost like a gate to soul or a gate to spirit. And it's like Pepe, Pepe, Pepe. It's like an intentional symbol that I use to focus my attention, myself onto my higher self. And it's something that I really like to do as well when I smoke with this bong, to set the intention of I recognize my unity with spirit. And it's just a moment, right? Just a moment. And I like what I do as well when I say that. I kind of like pressing my palm against this, almost like feeling the texture. I don't know why. Like there's so many things that we do so intentionally. And a part of me feels like I'm crazy sometimes, where it's like you're doing way too much of these things, and they don't actually mean anything. But don't they mean anything? Or is all they really mean what they mean to you at the end of the day? Okay, I believe we're live again. Thank you for joining me once more. I'm going to smoke this small little bowl with the intention of art. Literally, the mindset of art, like the fundamental, quintessential essence of what art is, what art means, where art has been, where art will go. Calling the power of art. Please don't wreck me. Send help. Okay, there we go. We're going to take a sip of Ermias Blur. Cheers to you. Texture is something I just noticed in water again. Not like I don't, just like that's what came up to me right now. That where you are is in the place of your birth, the mind, God, consciousness, the universe. That where you are is in the place of your birth, here, now. Hello, Pineapple Cubed. Long time no see to you, friend. It has been a while. How have you been? How's life been treating you? We're going to get into a little bit of a body scan slash contemplative sitting with ourselves and just noticing, right? Being being a little bit quiet with ourselves, with our inner state. I would like to encourage you to breathe very deeply throughout this whole. I don't exactly know what it is. Guided mental flow, if we will. Let's say that. Breathing, try to breathe rather, all the way out and all the way in. And throughout this process, it's okay to, forget about your intentional breathing. I'll try and, give prompts again for you to bring your awareness and your attention back. But just see how it makes you feel. Breathing into this moment, breathing into your body, just breathing into this experience that you're in right now. realizing with every breath you take, you are allowing this experience to continue. On a very, very real level, you're choosing to be alive. Every breath, you get to now choose to be alive. Realizing that you've chosen to be alive, notice that you're safe enough to have chosen to be here, here in this moment, here in this world, here in this country, here in this city, here in this body. And that where you are right now is safe. Where you are right now is solid, as the earth supports you from below. Focusing on your breath, just feeling into that support. Acknowledging and realizing that the very breath you're breathing right now is the earth. You as the earth, breathing the earth. Spending a moment to notice how it makes you feel. How it makes you feel to consciously breathe. How it makes you feel to notice your body. How it makes you feel to notice your environment. And what you feel about safety. No matter what response you elicit from these words, this is your experience. What do you feel about security? What do you feel about success? These things have become more and more difficult to really establish in our lives. We create these ideas of security, success, stability, and we already, by most standards, already have these things. Feeling into this moment what you have to be grateful for. Count your fingers, count your toes, count your arms and your legs. Move your shoulders. Notice your senses. Think about people you love, friends, family members, even people you don't know, people who have inspired you, people who have portrayed a role so beautifully, people who have shown you parts of yourself. How do they make you feel? How did you make them feel? Can you be more creative in your experiences, in your exchanges, in your interactions with these loved ones? Can you be more authentically you? even if it may be out of the ordinary. How do you feel about your willpower when it comes to your want to be yourself? What have you done, intentionally or unintentionally, to be yourself? How has that influenced you, and how does it continue to influence you in this moment? You are capable of so much, actual infinity, until your infinity runs out. But it's right here, right now. At least this side of the infinity will run out, right? We find ourselves in body, but we are ultimately spirit. Body as nature, spirit is your higher self. Two sides of the same infinity, and yet so intricately connected that you cannot separate yourself from anything. That spirit is in little Pippi Longstockings as well, right here in her little beingness. Nothing can take it away from her. And she will continue just like we will. Here, Pippi, take care. You are capable, friend, of living the life that you have only imagined. And more. The future we're moving into is going to be one of abundance. It's going to be one of love. It's already become one of acceptance. And it can't be any other way. We've tried it every single other way. It's time to admit that the last 160 years, has been the dark ages again. It has been, in a lot of ways, the darkest part of our humanity coming to fruition. And because we've been faced with this darkness, we have dreamed a collective dream of interconnectivity, of being able to communicate with one another in the way that we are right now, in a way that has never been possible, in a way that we feel more connected than we ever have, in a time where we are more connected than we ever been, and yet feel lonelier than we ever have. Like this experience of not being enough, feeling like you are doing too much sometimes, like this inability to allow yourself the beauty of experiences. It's like we become so convinced that we're nothing that we allow ourselves nothing. And that's the thing, like you're powerful enough to do that too. You're very much equipped with all of that capability to create for yourself a life of pain, separation, I think is the better word. Feeling like you're against the world, right? Like instead of noticing yourself as both sides of the same infinity, you as one side of the infinity peering into the universe as the other side of the infinity, it becomes all of infinity versus a unity. Oh, just me. You are it. You have willed this experience you're in right now. This is your will. You're choosing to be in this moment with me right now. as we've chosen to be in this moment on planet Earth, in this universe, in this moment of infinity, instead of anywhere else, we find ourselves here. And this moment is indicative of the future we're going to live. It is this acceleration towards a unity consciousness, a consciousness of sharing with one another in a transparent way the stuff that we actually feel, not feeling like we have to hide ourselves anymore. Use our willpower to pretend we're something we're not. It's in this moment that I would like to encourage us to just notice our hearts. What does compassion mean to you? Empathy, love, understanding, care. Noticing that your heart has been there with you for all of existence, just beating, ceaselessly encouraging you to continue living. Every single cell in your entire being is being encouraged to continue living. And it's been happening since the day that you existed. My heart feels like it wants to jump out of my chest right now. Living into that energy with this intention to ask for the ability to articulate, to ask for the freedom to be able to say what I feel without any encouragement, without any need for acceptance, without any validation, but just to speak from a place of truth. Even though that truth might not be everybody's truth, and it never could be. No truth ever is. That's kind of the point. Your truth is the truth. This moment is your truth, what you're experiencing, what you're going through. And yours is just as infinite as mine. Just as infinite as mine. Like, and it boggles my mind. I cannot even fathom it sometimes. Most of the times. 99% of the time. Unfathomable. And then you have this moment of like, and then you melt. Turn into goo. Also, willing to ask for the ability to really listen. All right, to feel open enough to listen to opinions that we might not be resonating with. Like, and I feel that's something that I can work on too. A lot, a lot, a lot. Like, it's not that I'm unwilling to listen to opinions that differ. Maybe it's once I've heard the same opinion so many different times, that's when I become resistant to it. But maybe there's something for me to learn in that as well. Even more patience. So I ask for the ability to listen with patience. I thought that would work. This this willingness to ask in this moment, I feel genuinely comes from a place of intuition that I would like for you to try and access as well. Right? Like you have a third eye, not only on a metaphysical level, but on a physical level. You have a pineal gland, a little dangly bit, which is a unity, by the way. There's one of it. And within that little dangly bit, it's the size of like a walnut. you have photoreceptors, as in the stuff you have in your eyeballs to be able to see stuff. So you literally have a third eye. And I feel that third eye might be it's quite literally an eye within inside of you, right? So on a very visceral level, that's exactly what it is. And it's something that we really go so long without acknowledging. And yet it's something that's constantly peering into this universe with you. I believe on some fundamental level that's the seat of consciousness. That's where it really starts, the observer, this awareness that you are aware and in this moment, as opposed to not being aware and not being in this moment. And you can melt away everything else, your ability to see, your ability to feel, your ability to hear, your ability to taste and smell, and you will still be there. That awareness, that consciousness. And that part of you knows shit. it knows it knows stuff that you can't know for some reason. And it's like, because your observer is that presence, it can know things in a moment, and then in the next moment, when the ordinary consciousness ego kind of like gets back into control, it's like, the fuck was that? what what do you mean I just had this idea and now it's gone? What do you mean? Where did it go? You're laying in the bed, you're having these like gang ideas, like really good ones. You're like, man, that would make a great business. I'll write it down tomorrow morning. You wake up the next morning, it's like there is like you try to dig and there's just nothing, because in that moment you're so unfocused on your normal conscious attention that you're open to this awareness of inside of you, and that awareness of inside of you again sees things, knows things about your life, about your existence, about the experience and the experiencer that is you. And then we just don't pay attention to that. Things have become so enticing within our external world that we don't give reverence or that much time to our internal worlds anymore. I do see it changing though, right? Like there's a lot of change within all of us that has been moving towards spending more time on our inner work. And I see it in you friends. I see it in you friends. Adam Curtis would agree. Thank you for joining me, friends. Thank you. In this moment, as we're connecting with one another, I would like for us to just notice our crown, right? The crown chakra, our connection with unity, our connection with all that is. And that is technically an abstracted version of that in this moment. Instead of me just being the humaning out here in the middle of South Africa doing my thing, now we have opened this portal within unity, and now we can connect in this moment. So thank you, friends, for finding yourself in this moment with me. I appreciate you so much, so much. How are you doing? Like, I feel I want to repeat a little bit of the stuff that I was saying at the very start of the stream, what this whole stream was for, the intention behind it, if you will. And it came from this place of thinking of works of art as an intention to create a universe that people can find themselves within and then relate to one another because they find themselves in the exact same universe. So, be it by listening to a song together, you find yourself in that world, right? Or looking at a work of art together, or listening to a poem, or watching a movie, or being in the stream right now. There is this creation of a new world that we can live in as a collective. And then that understanding carrying over to the other side of the infinity to see our world and you within this world as a work of art that we are in as a collective. Right? You see the paradox of like, yes, art creates worlds for us to be in as a collective, and then the whole thing of art nature's reality and reality nature mimics nature and nature mimics art, and then going into like nature as we are right now is also a work of art, and you are in the same way a part of it. We all are a part of this magnificent jewel creation, you reality. It's so beautiful. You haven't changed since the last time I saw you, Melty. Good. Pineapple cubed. Like we'll continue to evolve. We'll continue to evolve, but I feel there's like something, like the change has already happened. Right? Like if I was streaming when I was 16, or like starting streaming when I was like 4, no, let's how far do we want to go back? Where was the most brutal parts of the arc? Maybe like 13, 13, 14, 15, 16. Let's do a graph like 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and then it went like 20, 20, 21, and it's been like a complete shift in the way that I've wanted to live, and the way I see other people, the way I see myself. So yeah, it's happened. The changes happened, Fred. It will continue to evolve into just knowing, that every single one of us has the same infinite significance. It's hard to wrap our heads around it, so we don't want to believe it. But once you feel what that would be like, it was like, oh, okay, so what you were saying is that not only is this infinite experience, because like when you close your eyes and when you dream, when you have a creative imagination, that part of yourself is so vast, and you can go throughout your entire life and never run out of that experience of feeling that receptivity of the infinity. And this entire infinite universe, you would be able to go infinitely every single direction, and you would be able to experience different infinities wherever you go. And just knowing that that is the case for every single other being, like it my mind melts. It's like, okay, what do you mean? Like, how do I do that many nodes of data? I was like, yeah, I know, relax. Okay, thank you, brain. Enough. So thank you, friends. Thank you for spending a moment of your infinity with me. Like if you never come back, ever, 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 all I want is for you to be happy. That's all I want. For you to see yourself as an infinite being and to live into that part of yourself. To be like, I can do anything. I can be anything. I can go anywhere. I can live any life. I have done all of those things because I am infinite. Literally, like within infinity, everything. Every, everything. Even if you just live a fraction of your infinity, it's still infinity. Live your life, friend. You deserve it. These glorious strands of protein protruding from his head. That's where his magic starts. If he cuts it, he might lose some of the magic. You might want to look into a haircut experience. Uh, I mean, that would be funny. It would be funny if it actually works that way, right? Like one day I just show up with a shaved head and I start from level 1 again. I'm like, I imagine myself for some reason as that the dude with the hammer within a pot, and that you climb up. I don't know what the game was called actually, but it was a pretty big hit on the internet when it came out. I just imagine myself showing up like that, like day one again. Rebrand the entire stream. Thank you for the wholesome. Mrs. Plums. I'll call, or Mr. Plums, I'll call you. Nah, he cuts it, and his body hair will grow and glow lush. Still magic, but like magic carpet. not Magic Mane, where he gets bald on his head, he'll evolve to God status. We'll see if it happens, friend. Twaffle, like I wouldn't put it past myself, you know. Like just like I see Ramdas in so many ways as like a beautiful like teacher in my life. To the point when I hear the word stroke, it like creates a visceral sense of dis-ease in me, you know. And I hear me say that, and I'm like, I shouldn't. That should not be happening. So yeah, like I feel you completely. Thank you, my friend. Not bad. What are y'all feeling? I feel connected with you friends in this moment. Thank you, Helio, for asking. How about you? Thanks for opening this platform for us to connect now. I find myself logging on every morning now to share and practice mindfulness with everyone. Thank you for allowing yourself that, friend. Just the way that it makes you feel is the thing that is so crazy to me. Like the fact that we can elicit these responses within us as humanity, it blows my mind. It, it's like always too hard to believe sometimes. Works of art. You, as a work of art, every experience, every moment you go through, canvas and painter. And like something I like to do, you know, on an imaginary level, when I like look at a dog, for example, I see all living things as little, you know, moving fractals. But like with dogs, especially because they're like furry and stuff, and the intricacy of those little hairs and the shadows and you know what I'm talking about. So like I imagine it becoming like a long exposure shot, if you will, but fusing those long exposure shots into itself, right? So it becomes like a continuous moving fractal of the dogs as they move through their environment. And like seeing humans in that way as well is more difficult for me for some reason. I just feel like human behavior is a little bit more complex. So imagining what it would look like is a little bit harder for me. But with dogs, it's easier rather. And just like seeing them as these beautiful moving, you know, fractals, like these instances of existence, you know, and again, them being that same part of the infinity, like dogs dream within a dog's closed eyes. It has a reality. It sees things. It experiences things. It can be scared. It can be excited and chase something. What? What? And it's that way for all of us. Like it's so wild. It's so wild. Like these brains of ours are but I believe antennae, like stuff that lets us tune in, not really the stuff that produces the consciousness itself. Like I'm trying to imagine what a bug's dream would be like. That's where my mind is going right now. It's like bugs, of course they have to dream. They're still that consciousness. So when they go to sleep, that consciousness goes somewhere else. Now I'm just imagining in a bug's world. Like it's me, I'm trying to imagine. It's fucking trippy as hell. Like just imagine it, right? Like a bug's dream world. And then I'm imagining like these pillars and these like almost like tree shapes, but instead of them having a base first, it just is like branches growing directly out of the ground, which is fused into the very branches growing out, and they're like over each other. And it's like the same kind of material that the beetles are made out of, where it has that sheen to it, and if you move in different ways, it changes color. But because they're like so weirdly shaped and they're these things that are a part of the environment, they're also like a little bit moving, you know, and in this moving, also changing colors by themselves without you having to move for them. Like, oh, stop it, please. I'm gonna stop dreaming like a bug, man. And yet, huh? Like, who are we to say that this human experience is any more beautiful than a bug's? Goodness, like, oh man, there's so much beauty. Literally ceaseless creation. and you in this moment as that ceaseless creation. Long time no see. Long, it has been a long time actually. Twaffle Maker, we love and appreciate you, friend. Run your fingers through it. It's like licking the back of one of those LSD toads. Feel omnipotent, omnipotent. See the colors that don't exist. Twaffle Maker, I love it. Comments not working. Comments are kind of working, Toast Malost, but I feel like I chose to be completely present as fast as I could be today. So thank you for joining us. If you had a comment that I didn't see, please do send it again. I see you now, though. Thank you for joining us, brother. One thing that definitely hasn't changed is your ability to put a smile on my face. Yeah, yes. People smiling means people are smiling. Means make me smile. Makes you smile. Makes you smile. Makes me smile. Both sides of the infinity. Thank you, Pineapple Cube, for making me smile. Government not working. Is your family doing the church thing today, Melty? They've already done the church thing. Yes, Eden. Is your dad on a trip about resurrection and whatnot? Is this a day your family celebrates? They went to church, so that happened. But yeah, I slept in and baked my mom some rusks, actually. I feel pretty good about that. So last night, my mom, is like, I'm gonna take out ingredients and then you're gonna make me rusks tomorrow. And I'm like, am I? She's like, I mean, will you make me some rusks tomorrow? I'm like, yeah, I will. So I wake up this morning and like first thing I do, like I don't even eat breakfast. I'm like, yes. Zen mode, gonna do rusks. And I make these rusks, and it's like a pretty cool experience. I was listening to a podcast that I feel was kind of just noise. It was a Andrew Huberman podcast about hormones, but all of the information that was provided, I feel I already knew one, or they provided the useful information within the first 10 minutes maybe. And then it was like a 2.5 hour podcast. It was still interesting. Like I feel I know more, but practically. Hello, hello, late, my man. Thank you for joining us, dude. How are you doing? How's the just the music been going? Actually, I'm happy to beat that, Ryan. I'm well today. Feeling a sense of peacefulness today. Everything you were saying, Mel, I feel it. Shannon, thank you so much for resonating in this moment with me. I cannot thank you enough. I think he's just skipping over a handful. Just maybe like whoop, like a little step. NW, thank you for joining us, friend. It's nice to have you here again. When I hear the word stroke, I think Billy Watchnuts, the 80s mini rocker. Who was that? I don't even know who that is. Unfortunately, Waffle Maker, love the videos. Thank you so much, NW. How are you? I'm doing well, friend. I'm doing well. It's like been raining for like the last maybe 40 hours or so. And while we were doing yoga, it came down a little bit harder. And then by the time we finished the yoga, it stopped completely. And I actually went and fetched this like covering so that I don't have to put the cushion down on the wet, concrete. And we could stream a little bit more outside today. And I'm very happy about that. I get to have a view of the sky without being wet. Man, Cartha, thank you for joining us, friend. How are you doing? Like, it's been a really cool stream, friend. Like, I feel this is again one of those that just make me happy, like genuinely, like, oh yeah, there you go. So thank you for joining us in this beautiful stream. I'm so happy to have you a part of it. I'm cleaning myself up, cleaning my space, my area. Got a haircut, trimmed my beard. Cartha, dude, that's trippy. I don't even think I told you friends this, but I did well, aside from the haircut and the beard, the cleaning up of my area. Like I had actually like this whole stint in myself where I was like, I'm gonna spring clean my room and I'm gonna keep my horizontal surfaces, in a more neat order. And it's been so gratifying to my soul just to see it in like and lines. Maybe it's just my left brain, the more active monkey part of myself. And dude, thank you for letting me know that. I'm happy that you're doing the same. Been feeling good. Gonna try to ask out this girl tomorrow. Wish me luck. Okay. So wishing Cartha luck for a girl he's gonna ask on a date. I see. So it's like a bowl, and then out of this bowl there are these like spikes almost like coming out. What can that be? Like a part of myself wants to make it a spaceship, like this big central console, and then these spikes, and then it spins, and then creating these artificial gravity centers. Yeah. Sending you an entire alien species worth of good vibes, to get your data, dude. Feeling myself today though. I'm even feeling you, Cartha. You're like it makes me happy, brother. Day. I'm just starting. Haven't cleaned much, but it already feels so much better. Not literally, but thanks. How have you been? I'm doing well, friend. I'm doing well. I feel like I'm pushing myself a little bit weirdly. It's like a psychological push that I'm doing to myself, which doesn't really make sense to me, really. But I'm working through it, and I'm being present with it, and I'm trying to learn as much as I can. I'm happy to hear that you're doing well as well, friend. We've been talking about art, really been talking about art today, and I'll just catch you up like too long didn't read. Basically, art is creating a universe for people to live in. We are already living in a universe that is art. Two sides of the same infinity. So it's a battle today? No, not really. Just I've been in my own head, dude. Too much. The place is a little bit wild. And it's like if I'm not spending time in quiet, then it gets too much. But then as soon as I allow myself some quiet time, then it's almost easy to get past it again. But it's conscious attention that I don't allow myself sometimes for some reason, and that's what I mean with the psychological thing, where it's like, no, no quiet time for you, and I'm like, what? Why? It's interesting. Where that's an awesome song. Corey, thank you for joining us, my friend. It's so nice to see you, Ninja Nanner. Hang on. That's a Ninja Nanner and a Ninja Peach. This is the world now. Yeah, and they are married to one another, Pineapple Cubed. And not only Pineapple Cubed are they married, but they have a baby, which we call Fruit Cup. Pineapple Cube. So it's so crazy. And it's like we have the Ninja Nanners and the Ninja Peach, and then we have Pineapple Cube. So you better be scared. You don't want to be turned into some like slushies or something. We have two of them. How much do you love acid and shrooms? I mean, I feel now less than if you asked me maybe 6 months ago. And it's not that I love them any less. It's just that I feel there is so much we can do without them. And I'm trying to lean into that part of myself in the moment. How about you? No description. So you're swaying over the lines of where you want or are supposed to be. That's exactly it, Carth. Because you all show up for me every day, saying that. It's true. It's actually true what you just said, and that's it's kind of scary when you say it that way, but in a lot of ways, it really is true. Thank you. So much love to you, friend. You were so loved. There we go. You add so much beauty to the stream. You really do. Every single moment that you've been, your name has been said, your energy has been transmitted into the universe as well. You are a part of this process. So many fruits, so many fruits. Thank you too. I might not be here every day, but I'm here for you every day. You're in our hearts, Corey, within the divine heart, within mind, within this beautiful work of art that is us. And we love you so much for everything you do for us, for the whole, for yourself, for your family. You never have to apologize for anything you are. And we love you just as you are. That's mutual. I feel exactly the same way. So much love to you as well. Thank you, friends. I'm here a lot. I consider you my sister. We consider you all beloved friends, family members, loved ones. That's why we have this greeting as well. Indeed, and greetings unto you, beloved, loved ones, and holy friends, recognizing you as divine, recognizing you as the infinity. Whole. You can only be whole within this if you are infinite. Huh? That's the way I feel about it. Yeah, here we go. Brother Isaac joining us. Say good morning, friends. I slept in a ton today. Happy to stop by my little Easter buns. Shannon, if you're here, I hope your bunny knows it's their day today. So much love to you, Shannon. I'm pretty sure Shannon is still in the YouTubes. Let me correct my driving. I think she's on the YouTube. I think so as well. I'm not the best painter, but we should paint a piece together whenever I can visit. I like that idea. My sister actually has oil paints. I don't know if oil paint would be the best idea for painting together, but maybe we'll do acrylic or something. So we already have like canvases and stuff. I would love to do that. Maybe we can even like I want to create a soundboard, out of like wooden frame, eggshells, or not eggshells, egg containers. What do you call those? Egg boxes, whatever. Like basically sound absorbing, and then cover those in like some sort of plush material, and then cover it with like a piece of linen or something, and then create a work of art in that. So I want to do that relatively soon, but that's also like one of the canvases that I want to create soon. Oh, here, ready, this too spicy. My tongue be burning. Thank you, Isaac. Something, I'm everywhere. Shannon, multi-dimensional technomancer. I love it. That would be sick. I think it would, friend. And it's something we can manifest. We can make more, even. Gavity in the Havity Hoobity. Gavity in the Havity Hoobity. Thank you for joining us, Gavin. It's nice to have you here, man. Wow. 472. We're doing it, Mr. 9838. It's nice to see you again, friend. We're climbing up the mountain. Climbing up the mountain. Step by step. How are you doing, Fred? How's life been treating you? How have you been treating you? I'm sure Peach appreciates that, and I appreciate the sentiment fully. Only had a brother growing up, but have chosen several more and been chosen by as many. And it is such a like a beloved, pleasure to have met you, friends. Like me and Erin had a call yesterday, and that was something that came up. Like we have these best friends in our life, right? These people that we feel such a connection and love for, and it's like we are like it's almost like we're only allowed to find like one of them in our lives, and now we have found hundreds of these beloved friends. It's like bonkers, and all of you friends are encouraged to reach out to any one of us, and even if you're just here to listen, you are loved. You are the one eliciting this response. You are the one that is on the other side of the infinity that is me. Same infinity, two sides. Thank you for the wholesome seal of approval. I appreciate that, Gob. I appreciate that so much, man. Thank you. Saying hello and sending love to all of y'all friends. Thank you so much, Shannon, for sending love as well on the Reddits. Love the pets. I have a sister and a brother and 10 years younger. This is a banana. My brother is 3 years older, and we've grown apart over the years. I'm sorry to hear that, Ninja Nanner. Like me and my younger brother have a really good connection with one another right now. And I feel like even though we might grow apart, because separation, right? We'll grow apart. every single time we find ourselves again within a moment where we are alone and we can, have a conversation with one another, there will be that tuning into the frequency of unity with one another again. Like I feel me and him have pretty reliably been willing to create that open space of awareness and willingness to hear one another out and to communicate authentically. So I'm so sorry to hear that, but I, at the same time, I hope that you can still have a beautiful relationship with your brother in each manner. Yay, sending you and those little Easter gods love today, friend. Hope you wake up feeling well today. Thank you, brother Isaac. So nice to have you saying that. Love, Melt's outfit assembly today. Thank you, me, property goops. Because I was like, looking for this pair of pants for a while ago and I couldn't find it. And it's been getting kind of cold, especially with the rain over the last, 40 hours. So I was like, this shirt was going to be the one next in sequence. And then I found the pair of pants and it was like this synchronicities that came in. And this was the next scarf in sequence as well. And I was like, yes, yes, universe, guide me, please. Teach me how. Dude, I had this conversation yesterday. We were talking about at the end of the stream this techno suit basically that can like regulates body temperature while also using body temperature as a means to power the temper regulation of your body temperature, and then at the same time having like I feel the hardest part, but I think we'll figure it out, technologically for some sort of like efficiency sake, very efficient LEDs. But anyway, like micro LED panels, flexible micro LED panels all over your body, so you could create literal outfits with the same thing that you're wearing. A suit that keeps you away from UV radiation. And like, I think we're gonna live in a wacky future. It's gonna be pretty cool, but it's gonna be high tech, very digital. Oh goodness. Very, very digital. That's why it's all the more important that we get to a point where we recognize that yes, all of this digital, but the thing that we really value the most within our digital experiences is human connection. We cannot lose human connection because if we lose human connection, we lose connection with ourselves as humans. That is, you see it over and over. It's like kind of hectic. So I appreciate you, friends, being willing to spend these moments, not only with me, but with yourself. Genuinely, I love you for that. Ah, there she is, Shannon. Love, 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 love you, friends. So much of that. Right, melting pants. Red pants. I've never seen this form of melt magic today, but I'm here for it. Like I was like genuinely thinking about getting more pairs of these pants as well, like different colors. So the fact that you friends are like hyping me up now just feels like even more of a trip. It's like, damn it, I don't need pants. The first response, like I don't need more pants. It's like, well, but shut the hell, shut the hell up, monkey. Take a moment, gaze at your visual field. Like looking in a mirror of color and light, breathe in deeply, imagining you are pulling that field into yourself and breathe out, feeling the sense of self enter that space. Infinity. Infinite vibes, yo. Isaac, thank you for that, friend. It feels just like a little bit calmer, even. Yeah, I don't know when I will be to the travel that way, but it will be a blast. Did I just absolutely butcher that sentence? Yes. Do I want to unbutcher it? No, that's not how it works. That's not how butchering works. Sorry. Shannon begins to phase in and out of the corner of your eye. Poltergeist style. I'm happy that that's the very next sentence that I read after the butchering comment. So, yeah, the synchronicities, Isaac, dude, that's a trip, man. Thank you, friend. Loving, love received, sharing. shared and sent back to you. I'm feeling very well today, very peaceful and full of love. How are you, Shannon? And I can feel it from you as well. And just thinking back to where we were just 48 hours ago, right? We were in this moment, same us, same experiencer, same awareness of what is, and yet the sheer difference, the sheer shift of that same infinity within us, that we can notice so rapidly. Dear Reddit, stop killing my vibe. Thanks. Thank you, Reddit. Please. Please and thank you. Yay. Thank you, friend. That makes me so happy. I woke up feeling good. Initially kind of rushed, anxious feeling, but settling into a great, calm Easter. Thank you for bringing that calm energy. Like I legit felt it from that previous, like intentional message you sent as well, Isaac. Thank you so much, man. That peace is radiating from you. Gotta go, Mel, but I hope you have a great day. Glad to stop by today. Glad to have you here, Cartha. Thank you for joining us. It was so nice having you. Have a good one. The space, you, and all you friends made all the difference. We the, we made the other side of the difference, right? There's an equal participation here between us and you, Shannon. There's no most difference, me less least co-creation. Co-creation in this moment. That's the truth. You've done so much, my friend. I recognize you for that. Don't worry, friends. If you have problems, please reach out. I'll help by making your mind so terrified of my imagination that it welcomes the demons of your life. JK, I'll just be so nice and loving. Please reach out, friends. I kind of like both, dude. And I feel you need to be the judge in the moment as to what is required of you. Nah, this person needs some demons. Thank you, Isaac, just for being your beautiful self, friend. Maybe a little bit of the Elden Ring out. I would love to start a canvas and send it to all of the Melt family so that each can add a bit to the canvas and pass it on. Wouldn't that be magical? It would be so crazy. Like, I believe you know 10 Hun, right, Eden? And being able to follow with that process, I definitely see us doing stuff like that. So maybe we can already start. I feel like the biggest thing would just be shipping, but that's definitely possible if you're in the Americas. Maybe like if it's in the Americas, it'd be easy. I peeps, you got caught up cleaning the kitchen. Broken, you have nothing ever to apologize for. We expect nothing of you other than you being present in your moment. Right? That's all we can expect of you. It's like, what the fuck? So no matter where I am within infinity, all Melt wants of me is me to be within my infinity? Yes. So the fact that you're willing to spend even a moment of your infinity here is already infinity. So thank you so much for that, Broken. You are appreciated for every moment. How are you doing? How's the kitchen looking? Glad you notice and appreciate too. It's probably challenging composing outfits for daily streaming. Kudos, Melty. Thank you, friends, so much for your love and appreciation. I feel I don't want to accept the compliment because I'm only doing it partially intentional. Like I do kind of have I check what the last outfit was, or like how long ago I wore a certain shirt. So I feel it's time for this shirt to see the light of day again, if you will. And then the scarves are rotating in a consecutive manner. So like the scarves are in the same frequency, if you will. So there is like mild intentionality. But thank you. Damn it. Shut the hell up. Like I just feel this monkey part of myself. It's like, no, you're stupid. You don't deserve a compliment. Shut the fuck up. Please. Please. Thank you so much. Thank you, God. I appreciate your love, friend. I see you. Like I would love to make clothing of my own. That's where I think that's maybe why this part of myself, has the brass to say some shit like that. Because it's like you can be making your own clothing and then wearing that. asshole. And I'm like, shut the fuck up, dude. I know. In time. Just be patient, little monkey. Just be patient. I could never. I think I care too much about the stuff, though. I fortunately like as long as I'm comfortable, I'm pretty okay with wearing anything. Like I'll wear legit anything. I'm probably booping with the Easter Bunny today. That sounds bopping or booping. Bopping with the Easter Bunny today. My mind is trying to figure out what bopping means. Like the one bopping it knows is the bop it, twist it, right? Like that's what my mind is thinking. But I'm like just imagining in one scenario you and the Easter Bunny bopping this thing, and then I'm like, no, that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't work. And then I'm trying to imagine like bopping being some sort of dance move, and then I'm imagining Eden, Fruit Cup, and a bunny like dancing whatever the bop is, and I'm and then booping with the Easter Bunny. Like that's I know even less about what that's supposed to be. I'm so sorry, Eden. I am alone here. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Wait a second. I think I missed a bit of them. If you could have any cartoon animation style take over your life, which one? Mine might be Midnight Gospel, which if you have not seen Melt, you have to. Oh, I've watched Midnight Gospel more than twice at this point, and I'll probably watch it more than that. Like I don't rewatch things very. Okay, like I feel like there's a big part of myself that feels I shouldn't rewatch anything because I've already spent this infinite moment in that moment. So there's nothing more for me to be within in that moment. And that's an illusion as well because you are different no matter how many times you do that. Then you can reference yourself in that moment again, how you felt, how you feel, what you've been through. Anyway, and Midnight Gospel is definitely one of those that I feel really bring so much perspective to you every single time you watch it as well. It really is an experience. But animation style, like the animation style I have in my head, is almost like Toasties. Like I really love Toasty style, like to bits. Like I've talked to Toasty about this, where I imagine within the next 10 years or so that we'll be able to actually produce a whole show and you friends as you know and in the same kind of like format I feel you can say as Midnight Gospel, where it's like a podcast-esque style where we as friends come into a space, we meet one another, we have a conversation, and that conversation basically and the imagining I have of this as well is to make it something that is actually accessible. So by one technological advancement, hopefully within the next 10 years, we won't have to do as much manual labor for like animation stuff anymore. Like we'll do more asset creation and then using those assets with like prompts where you basically explain to an AI system what the animations are supposed to look like, what assets they're supposed to use, and then it creates these fractals out of its imagination. And we can already technically do that, and I believe within the next 10 years we'll actually have access to it as normal humans, whatever that means. And dude, I spend way more time thinking about this stuff than I feel I want to admit at this point in my life, because I feel it's so out there sometimes that it's absurd. But the future we're going to go into is going to be one of abundance. Like there is going to be so much infinite that it's going to be everywhere. And I feel, the reason I'm pushing, like I feel like I'm pushing my own mind. You might feel like I'm pushing your minds as well a little bit. I'm sorry for that. Like pushing this infinity understanding so much because it's going to be the only thing, in my opinion, it's going to help us cope with how much information we're going to be exposed to in our futures. Like if you're not comfortable with seeing yourself as infinite, within infinity, that much information is going to be jarring and uncomfortable. But if you realize that you're so much more infinite than any amount of information you could ever be, it becomes something that you can melt into. Right? That's the way it makes sense to me. Oh, goodness. Ugh. What? Who said that? Man, I love watching the smoke coming off the incense and such. It's beautiful. It's like a dance. I'm going through existential crisis. Environment bad. Are you breathing? Of course I'm breathing, Melt, he says. Well, instead of just breathing, like take over. Like be like, okay, thank you, mind. Step aside. I'm gonna do this myself. Starts pumping yourself, right? Breathing in, breathing out. Realizing that in this moment, you now have assumed the active role of choosing to live. Literally, every single breath you take, you choose to live. And even if you're not breathing, this thing that lives, this experiencer, this awareness of what you are, continues. And it's here for a reason, in this moment. Otherwise, it would have continued already. But instead of being anywhere else, you have chosen to stay alive. You have chosen to stay in this moment. And I don't know if that is going to increase the intensity of your existential crisis, and if that would be necessary for you in this moment, or if it's going to decrease your existential crisis. Maybe to just give props to your existential crisis and saying, you know, you exist. Congratulations. You exist! Instead of not existing, you exist and you know about it, friend. You freaking got it. Welcome to the simulation. Welcome to the. Well, I don't know which color the pill was supposed to be. We'll just do purple instead, you know? Eat them both. Now I know I don't need to be here, but I like it. You don't need to be anywhere, friend. You are everywhere already. Broken. And you are loved, friend. There's no expectation of you. And that's something that I hope, is understood by all of you friends, that this is for you. This space is created for all of you. And that you can never, do anything wrong. Like there's nothing that you can do wrong. Like even this Jan dessert. You didn't do anything wrong, friend. You might have shown a part of yourself, to be such an infinite being and to collapse yourself into a single expression. It's an interesting fractal. But you can't do anything wrong, friend, because I didn't expect anything of you. Didn't expect you to say something nice, didn't expect you to say something that's not nice. And I just expected you to be present. And no matter what your expression is, you've chosen to be present at this moment, and I appreciate you for that. I tried to be creative with clothes, but I get overwhelmed, so I go with blue jeans and black t-shirts. I like that. Try scarves. I know it might feel jarring, but the scarves have really done it for me. I love them so much. I genuinely do. I don't know if it's something that other people think is weird, but it's something that really, suits me. And it's also something that I can now use as a mask if I'm in public, even though, you might have opinions on whether or not it's effective. It's more comfortable than carrying a mask around. Spend some close time with just Jasmine and Granny this evening. So pumped. Dude, have an amazing time with that. Like, just share the presence, the essence that is Isaac with them. I didn't even have to ask. I knew you'd enjoy Midnight Gospel. It's amazing, Brother Bam. The magic episode with the fish wizard really tripped me out. Dude, that is like the one episode where I feel I would want to understand more of the fractals that they're exploring, because they explore a lot of fractals, and my mind fizzles out with a lot of them where I'm like, oh, what the hell does that mean? Is that true? How far does that go? Like, what is, where can I find this information? No, 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 right? And that episode is like, you're right, really trippy, dude. Especially, the visuals of it as well, being this story of transformation, or ascension, or yeah, ascension maybe more, right? Yeah. Like the subject matter was almost like in that, not necessarily directly in that context, but your mind can go there. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Thank you. It's an open eye meditation technique I like, trying to feel the pulling in of life and pushing out of the concept of self. It's incredibly peaceful, doing it for a while, like a life bump. Again, thank you, Brother Bear, just for sharing yourself, man. Like, you were so appreciated. Black jeans, booping the snoot, maybe. So happy to be here with this wonderful family. So happy to have you here today, Corey. Like, genuinely, I cannot tell you the honor of you finding yourself here in this moment with me. So happy to be here. A good place to be with. It really is. I got it. I'm happy you're feeling into that environmental. I feel like I got it again. Is such a beautifully perfect answer. Because if I expected anything, which I could have, and I found like a single moment, like a slither of expectation creeping up in my head, and I was like, no, that's okay. You getting it, even if you like, and I remember like specifically the duality of it might have increased the existential crisis, it might have decreased the existential crisis, and just you saying I got it is so beautiful, actually, so beautiful. Thank you, friend, for allowing us to spend a moment with you as well. It's weird how we got so used to breathing into our chest from sitting in school when it's important to breathe into our belly. Completely right, friend. You want your gut to expand when you're sitting. Your diaphragm is something that's so interesting as well. It's way bigger than you know as well. Like, your diaphragm is massive, actually. Not only is it massive, but it's connected to so many parts of you. It's connected to your lungs, it's connected to your heart, it's connected to your rib cage, it's connected to the bottom, side of your organs as well, at least partially. Man, the human being. Because I'm tripping out, yo. Just, just spending a moment recognizing my breathing mechanism, and it's like the fuck. No, what do you mean? Yeah. Yes, awareness. That's what happened. That's happened. I literally cannot even formulate words right now. That's what's happening. What a trip being a human being sometimes. If you just take a moment to notice some things about yourself, right? Like, we are this collective organism, this unity within a being, and we're made up of these parts, and we can go our entire existences without knowing anything about these things, and yet throughout the entirety of your existence they will be there for you. They might fail and that's why you die, but they were there until they couldn't be. Ceaselessly just loving you enough to allow you to have this experience. Like, it's so wild. It's so wild. It's so beautiful to be a part of this work of art with you, friends. You as the work of art as well. No matter what, like, I spent a moment of that recognition as well, Like I was sitting and meditating, looking at the rain, and I was doing this experiment of filling or like looking at a tree and then defocusing and then almost like imagining what it would be like if I just defocused and allowed this tree to keep imprinting its imagery onto my neurons in a continuous flow. And I was like, yes. Melt, 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 melt even more. And I did that for a while, and it was a beautiful experience. And then I did the same, staring at the tri tree, and I was doing the same, melting. And then I spent a moment just looking at the wrinkles in my hands, and I was like noticing these little finger wrinkles and the way that they have like these mini folds of skin, so that you can actually like bend your fingers, and it like allows a little bit more flexibility there. And in that moment, I was just like absolutely awestruck again with the intricacy and the intentionality. Like if you were to think of a work of art, right? Like something that works with such elegance, such pristine accuracy, with such intricate detail. Literally these hairs being shields for mosquitoes so they can't just straight up land on your skin and start drinking your blood. Intricate, like intricate little force field that's created around my body, and it also like creates a pocket of air that gets like warm, and then it keeps my body temperature a little bit more equalized in an equilibrium. Like it's so crazy. It's bonkers, just how beautiful human beings are. And then we create these narratives of like, oh, this person looks like such and such and so and so, and because they look like such and so now they're an undesirable or whatever, when they're just as beautiful. Like, like sometimes within a work of art, if there is something that is, asymmetrical in it, it can be the thing that makes the work of art actually something that you want to look at. Something that is coming up in my mind right now, and maybe it's just because it was something that I really watched as a kid, is the Quasimodo story. you know I'm trying to remember the initial movie's name. The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Like that movie wrecked me, yo. Yossi. Like I had a brutal time watching that movie as a like 5-year old, because I was like, is this what society is like? Goodness, what did that just say? Like I'm tripping out about what that stuff did to me as a kid now. What it's still doing to me. But I guess that's what it like was supposed to do, right? To show the kids, this understanding of the beauty, the fractal of experience. Like Quasimodo was such a beautiful being. The softness of heart and the intricacy of his awareness and his willingness to experience his infinity in such a beautiful way, even though it was limited in the way that he had to experience it. Man, how cool. It's so freaking cool what entertainment does. Like I feel like in this moment we were allowed to unlock that fractal within inside of myself as well. I can't remember when was the last time I thought about that movie. Goodness. Thank you, friend, for being so freaking beautiful. I really appreciate it. So many things to capture attention and imagination. All other things. I'd say Ascension makes sense, yeah. Yeah, that's the one. It's one of the most abundant shows I've ever seen. It's wonderful. It's such an inspiration as well. It gives me a hope for the future of like entertainment and content as well, dude. Like if that is what's capable of being portrayed, of being communicated to an audience, imagine what more we can do. I'm already You need to imagine with me. Quick, guys, you need to create it. Yeah, you're gonna be part of that as well for sure. It's weird how we get so used to breathing into our chest again. For everyone, even if everyone comes in and it's rude or even toxic trying to expose you, they will just end up doing just that, exposing even more of what is inside. Just the fact that you are aware that you're having a crisis means that you are a part way to finding the answers that you need to end it. This is the way, friend. Just being open to admitting to yourself certain things and realizing that there is nothing that you can do wrong, that you're here to learn. You're a student of life. you know, like it's because of the way we've been brought up in these school systems where they force information down our throats and they test us on that information, and if the information doesn't collaborate 100% to the information they want us to know, then we get punished for it. We get better, we get or better. Yes, I love it. We get better grades because of it. And then it becomes this toxic mindset of like, oh, if you do this, then you're seen as an undesirable. And it becomes this experience of feeling like your life, if not lived in a certain way, towards like according to others, is going to be undesirable. Your life is infinity. It's one of the most desirable things within the entire universe. Like I actually believe that. Like consciousness, other parts of consciousness is envious of the human experience that you are allowed to have right now. Huh? What the heck are you talking about? Right, Rip? Talking about art. You know, pretty broadly, but talking about art today. This, as my form of art, at least the form of art that I feel I was made for. And by creating art, we create a world, a universe within which we can be together. Right? We're in this moment together within this universe. And the reason we do that is because art mimics reality and reality mimics art. And by that logic, you are this work of art within this work of art that is our reality. It's something that makes me feel so calm. And I wanted to share that with you friends today. So thank you for allowing me another moment to. Knowing there's a problem is the first step to fixing it. Knowing that there is no problems is the first step to fixing it broken. There is no problems outside of you. As soon as you know that, you'll know a lot more. I love you, friends. Thank you so much for spending this moment with me today. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Have a good Sunday. Get some rest. You deserve it. Love to you, friends. Love to you. So many things to capture attention and imagination. Probably a bunch of things calling for me now, Isaac. Come here, come here. What's this? What's this here? Come and look what this is. Good morning, brother. I'm so happy I waited a second longer. Like there was literally something in me that was like, nope, don't end the stream yet. And if I legit just like went for it after I ended the Reddit stream, I wouldn't have read your comment. Thank you, universe. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dan, as the universe in this moment. Good morning, brother. How is the family? The family is good. They went to the Easter like church ceremony or session or what's the word I'm looking for? Is it a ceremony? I feel like there's a correct word. Celebration, maybe the Easter celebration service. That's the word I was looking for at church. I didn't go with them. They're back right now. I had the conversation with them. Apparently, it went pretty well. Brother is back from his little vacation away. Sister is still in Pretoria visiting her cousin. My younger brother is taking his motorcycle that he bought for himself into the town, like for some reason, like into the city actually. I'm not gonna question him on it. He's gonna do it. And my mom seems to be doing well. She seems very happy. Dad is under a lot of stress right now. Thank you for asking. How are you doing, Dan? How are you doing, brother Bear? Love you all so much, so much. Service. Service. It really is, Shannon. It really is. And I can't imagine myself serving anyone with so much divinity as your friend, as you friends. Like it's, I imagine with throughout, with throughout infinities, different people that were willing to serve others. And if you truly make a commitment to serve others, it can be something that's difficult, very difficult. And instead of it being difficult, you friends have made it all the much more joyous, all the much more loving, all the much more giving, all the much more forgiving. You friends have been such a beautiful expression of the infinity, and I cannot thank you enough for that. I see you friends for that. I appreciate you friends for that. Dan, I don't know if you're typing a message right now, Brother Bear, but I know, things are well with you usually. Thank you for being a work of art. I love and appreciate you friends so, so much. See you again tomorrow.